So Brooklyn Beckham and the Beckhams, David Beckham, Victoria Beckham, that's what's trending all over the news right now. So I thought, let me check out what's going on over here because I remember Brooklyn Beckham when he was just a little boy. Obviously, David Beckham's a massive footballer, ex-footballer. Okay, retired. Posh Spice, Victoria Beckham, she's a massive fashion designer. She was part of the Spice Girls. And they've managed to keep a squeaky clean image in the press for a very long time, apart from some minor affair type stuff from the husband, which we normally see at least once in a footballer's career. But I thought, let me check out what's going on with Brooklyn Beckham and this whole bombshell that people are saying that's gone on. Right? There's a massive stories all over the talk shows. Let me just flip my screen. It's all over the talk shows. It's all over the news. All right, so I thought, let me check this out. So I'm going to give my thoughts on this. And why I'm even talking about this is, we got to talk about the trending topics. I'm trying to grow this channel, guys. I would appreciate if you subscribe to the channel, like the video, comment down below on your thoughts on this. I know there's probably going to be a lot of people that are interested in this story. May have a few lighting issues that we'll sort out. I normally do my videos at night time from my other channel. But hey, let's just get on with it, okay? And yeah, so Brooklyn Beckham, let's just play this. Gotta remember to unmute my mic, guys. But let me just chime in, yeah? So, well, let me ask a question. Is this just rich people problems? Because, hey, listen, the kind of family problems that I've had growing up, I mean, this is nothing like what they're talking about compared to the kind of stuff that I've seen and had to endure in my life. But anyway, for the sake of the video, let's talk about this and give my take on this, okay? So, there's something called a Nepo baby. And Brooklyn Beckham is a Nepo baby, right? He's born into a lifestyle of the rich and famous, right? I was looking for his net worth. I can't find his actual net worth, but this is an article about what it's talking about everything that's being spoken about right now. And we'll touch on that slightly as well. But his parents are estimated to be worth 500 million, okay? 500 million pounds, GBP. That's 671 million USD, okay? Collectively, right? As a couple, they're worth more than $500 million, okay? And you have Brooklyn Beckham, who's a Nepo baby. A Nepo baby is somebody that's born by a celebrity, okay? And they're famous because of their celebrity parents, right? Hey, listen, I only recently found out what a Nepo baby was last year. And I watched a Channel 4 documentary about Nepo babies. I knew what they were, but I didn't know that they were called Nepo babies, right? But Brooklyn Beckham is one of those, okay? So no doubt, the only reason he's rich and the only reason he's famous is because he's a Nepo baby, right? He's not, as far as I'm aware, you can correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I'm not aware of any talent that he's got. His mom's a singer, she's a fashion designer, his dad's a footballer, he's got his own liquor brand, he's got his own brand deals and stuff like that. Like, we know what they're known for, but Brooklyn Beckham is known for being David Beckham and Victoria Beckham's son. So he's obviously got with this girl, what's her name? What's the girl's name? Something Phelps, Nicola Peltz, right? Let me just find out exactly what Nicola, so I can have a proper perspective on this. It's Nicola Peltz, is it? Is it this one? Okay, so Nicola Peltz, right? So what is she known for? Nicola Peltz. What is she known for? I've heard of her before. Okay, so she's an actress. She's Nicola. Okay, so her parents are billionaires, right? So I think so money is marrying money, basically. Okay, and they've got some problems. maybe the parents, I don't know the full story, guys. I don't know the full story. The parents obviously must not like this girl, or the girl has fell out with the mom, Victoria, and she was going to make her wedding dress, and then she decided not to make the wedding dress at the 11th hour, it says, right? And then they had to source another wedding dress. You know, rich people problems, you know. You want a specific type of wedding dress. You know, as far as I'm concerned, you can afford any type of wedding dress you want, but she wanted a specific wedding dress. The mom ruined it. Brooklyn's talking about mom danced on me inappropriately or whatever. I don't know why our mom's doing that. I don't know what he considers inappropriate. But it was at their wedding, stole the last dance from the wife. Brooklyn Beckham's obviously got married to this girl. And now Brooklyn Beckham, with all of these problems, he's decided to expose his family. He's saying that they're controlling. What did he say? He said, in a series of Instagram stories, let's just flip the screen. In a series of Instagram stories, Brooklyn wrote that parental control over public image has lasted since childhood. Brooklyn alleged that managed appearances, staged posts, and strained bonds formed a part of life within the Beckham household, and claimed these efforts still continue, especially whenever the family faces public scrutiny. And he rants on about it's all about the Beckham brand, the Beckham brand, the Beckham brand. Now, my opinion, without knowing every detail about this feud, this family feud, right? First of all, obviously as a Christian, the Bible tells me to honor your mother and father. Have I had issues with my parents growing up in life? Yes. Before I was a Christian, I didn't honor those commandments, okay? But the first thing I will say is, as a child, you should honor your parents, right? You shouldn't be doing this over the internet about your parents. If you've got family issues, yes, you can speak up, you can speak your mind, but you don't need to bring this out into the public. As a man that has 2 children, I couldn't imagine how I would feel if my child decided to do this as well. So that's me talking as a parent and as a Christian. Honor your mother and father. In fact, it's the first commandment with promise is in the Bible. Is honor your mother and father that your days may be long on the earth. There's a promise attached to that. But anyway, that's that out of the way, right? The only reason that this young man knows this girl, or even has a chance with this girl that he's obviously infatuated with, he's decided to marry her, right? The only reason he knows her, and the only reason they know each other, is because of their parents, okay? So it's because of your parents why you've even got a chance to be with this, you know, high-value woman. You're a high-value man because of your parents, you know. So it's because of them why you're together. So there's always going to be, and not only that, there's inheritance involved. There's things like that. So there's always going to be an input from parents. And with them being famous before you were born, and obviously raising a child in the public eye, there's going to be brand management. There's going to be, you know, this is how you got to conduct yourself in public. We don't want you to speak about this. Okay, you can speak about that. There's going to be an element of control, which, as a Nepo baby, you would think that you would submit to, for the simple fact that they are your parents and they've achieved so much and they know how to navigate the public eye, right? So I would say that. And we've got a little man in the background. Hello, son. Do you want to go sit down and eat your sweeties? Thank you very much. Go sit down and eat your sweeties. I'll be in there in a second, okay? Okay. So yeah, that's the little one, and he's poorly today, so he's not at nursery. But anyway, the show goes on. All right, guys. So anyway, with all that said, right? Yeah, Brooklyn Beckham, he seems to be throwing a hissy fit online. And there might be people that agree and people that disagree, but I just think it's crazy. The world that we live in, the things that people do these days, right? And the fact that this seems to be the biggest story on the timeline at the moment. Correct me if I'm not mistaken, right? But I've heard of, like, in America where children are allowed to divorce their parents. Like, what kind of madness is that? But Brooklyn Beckham is saying he doesn't want anything to do with his parents anymore. He doesn't want to reconcile all of that. He's got his wife now, okay? So he's got his wife. His wife obviously doesn't like his mom. Or this is me putting 2 and 2 together without knowing all of the details. But mom and wife don't like each other. Or they're falling out over time. I'm guessing like David Beckham is going to be, you know, he's kind of neutral, trying to probably the one that's trying to, you know, salvage things. I could imagine that, you know. But at the same time, David Beckham seems to be. I would say that Victoria probably wears the trousers in their relationship, and David Beckham's probably the mom's not happy, so he's got to support the wife. He'd rather it was just sorted out, but he's going to be in a position and can't do things with his son. There are some nice clips because they've done some reality shows. There's some nice clips of them. You know, they seem to get on pretty well. They manage to keep all of that out of the reality show, all of the family feud, all that sort of stuff, right? But I just think it's a shame in the UK that this is the biggest story on the timeline right now. There's so many things going on in the world, so many other things that people could be talking about, right? And even myself, look, I'm here online talking about this because I wanted to have my opinion. I wanted to voice have my say on the matter. But the channel is the viral drive, so we need to talk about those things which are going viral, right? So yeah, this is me. But yeah, I think it's a shame that, you know, this is going crazy online. If you look, it's everywhere, right? Brooklyn Unleashed, The Sun, Brooklyn. There's a lot. It seems like this small story seems to be a lot to talk about, right? And yeah, I just wanted to have my take. I wanted to have my little say. Get involved, guys. This is the viral drive. You know what I mean? I gotta get involved. But guys, let me know what you think in the comments about this whole thing. You know, maybe you disagree with me. Not everyone's going to agree with me, but I don't think that this is something that that Brooklyn should be bringing to the internet. And I know there's other details to the story. There's other details to the story, but it's not like he's coming out and saying my parents abused me. They did this, they did that. They you know they do you know what I mean? He's just saying, oh, my wife this. Oh, you know, they tried to control me. Like, oh, I mean, that's what comes with being a child of the rich and famous. Maybe some careless parents don't care what you do, and you end up some drug addict madman on the internet, all over the news, embarrassing your parents. You know, we just don't know where your life could have ended up if your parents didn't guide you in a way. And I don't agree. I don't necessarily agree with everything that the parents do. You know, everything that the parents are involved in and stuff like that. Not that I know everything about them, right? But and that's my cue to end the video, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.